but we will begin our 4 o'clock coverage right now as we have crews out in the field, team coverage of the Abundant Life school shooting crews right now bringing us updates on what we know so far. We welcome you to Live at 4. And we begin with Maddie Heimsch, who is live keeping tabs on updates that came from the press conference that we saw just a little over an hour and a half ago. Maddie?
Hey, Eric. Yeah, like you mentioned, that press conference that just took place. I'm here at the firehouse. We heard from officials. We heard from Police Chief Sean Barnes. We also heard from Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, the fire chief. We heard from new Dane County Executive Melissa Agard. I'm going to let you hear directly from Police Chief Barnes. The big update that he gave was being able to confirm that the teenage student, that the suspect was a teenage student at Abundant Life Christian School. Take a listen to what he says here.
We know that the suspect shooter was a teenage student who attended the school. At this time, we're not releasing the age or gender of the student or any other identifying remarks about the student.
We are continuing to stay here and wait for.
Like you heard, they're not giving a lot more identifying information besides, of course, being a teenage student at the school. Now, other things we know, I just want to break down a little bit more of what he could tell us. We knew that 2 other people are dead, 1 another teenage student and 1 a teacher at the school. Beyond that, 6 other people injured, 2 of them right now in critical condition, facing life-threatening injuries, and then 4 others transported facing non-life-threatening injuries. He also let us know that a handgun was used and that the scene was contained to 1 space within the school. Not sure if it was a classroom, an open space, but that 1 space in the school was the scene. So again, we have 6 people facing conditions, some critical, some non-life-threatening, but many of the speakers really took to the point that it's not just those physical injuries that are going to last here. Barnes also tells us MPD is working to conduct witness interviews and obtain search warrants to get more information, as much information as we can gather right now. There's going to be another press briefing here in just about an hour and a half, right around 5:30. So we're going to stick right here and continue to provide updates as we get them. We'll bring you that press information live and uninterrupted right here on Channel 3, channel3000.com. For now, that's the information that we have, so I'm going to send it back to you, Eric.
All right, Maddie Heimsch live at Fire Station 14 on Madison Southeast Side, where that press briefing was just an hour and a half ago. Now, the other component is the reunification process. Students are leaving Abundant Life right now, and many of them heading over to the clinic, the reunification point over on Stoughton Road at Buckeye Road. And we've also had a crew there at Abundant Life today.
Yeah, we are standing by to wait to see that unification process. But let's go out to Braden Ross, who is on the scene at Abundant Life, and she can tell us what she has been watching out for. Braden?
Hello to you both. We've actually been able to see some of that reunification happening. Not those actual reunifications, but we have seen students come out of this school. So I'm going to step out of the way and show you a little bit of where they're coming out of. So it looks like there are possibly 2 buildings to this campus here. We saw some probably around elementary age kids coming out of this building that you're looking at now and walk over to Metro buses that were parked here. They're the big BRT buses that are super long that they have been parked here and waiting, we're assuming, for some reunification to happen. I'm actually seeing some people walk out of this school as we speak. They look like adults, possibly teachers, maybe a child as well. So they are beginning to start letting students out of this school. And we've certainly talked to a few community members around here who have just come to share in the shock, really, that this happened. We talked to a neighbor here who his house really backs up to this school here, and he was talking about how it was super loud, and he was describing just a really loud scene when obviously all the sirens first came and the police descended on the school to begin with. But then now just quiet, and describing that juxtaposition that he's seeing here of just the extreme loud and then just extreme quiet. We are still seeing people kind of come and go from that school. It looks like, and we know that they have cleared the school, so it is safe, but they are obviously very methodical about how they go about getting kids out of the school and back to their parents. Hopefully those reunifications are happening and those parents can take a sigh of relief when they see their kids come out of the school alive today, because that isn't the case for everyone here. Very tragic, very unfortunate. So the bright side is being able to see some of those reunifications happen, but I'll send it back to you guys for now.
All right, Braden Ross live at the site of the Abundant Life school shooting that happened, as we mentioned, just before 11 a.m. The call came in today. 3 people are dead. That includes the suspect, a student, and a teacher. The reunification process is happening right now at SSM Health's East Side Clinic at Stoughton Road and Buckeye. Just to go back to what happened earlier today, patients were transported to nearby hospitals with injuries. Madison PD saying those range from minor to life-threatening. It was briefly mistakenly shared by police that 5 people had died in the shooting, but the Madison Police Department quickly corrected that. And we do have a statement from the Madison school superintendent. Multiple MMSD schools were on hold while police responded to the incident there. Quote, "This unimaginable tragedy impacts not just one school, but all of us in the greater Madison community. No one should face these complex emotions in isolation. As a community bound by mutual respect and compassion, we urge everyone to continue looking out for one another, to offer kindness, and to keep the Abundant Life Christian School community in your thoughts." We're going to go back to Braden, who has this is just a shot from her vantage point there as more students are leaving from Abundant Life School to board one of the buses to take them over to the reunification process where their parents are waiting anxiously to see them once again.
Yeah, and you may wonder why we are so far back. We are trying to be respectful for law enforcement and, of course, the families who are waiting for their kids. So we want to show you what's happening, and that's why Braden is there kind of in that wooded tree area. We're trying to show you from a good, safe, respectful distance while law enforcement, school officials do their jobs, and parents can have that unification moment with their child, respect to their privacy, of course.
Absolutely. A very trying day for all the folks there at Abundant Life, both students and, of course, their families, as well as they wait to have those students back in their arms at this hour. Now, we're going to take a short break, and we'll check in with Merrill Hubbard and Will Keneally. They are both live out in the field at UW Hospital and also at that reunification center at SSM Health East Clinic.
And we'll keep providing updates on this shooting when we come back.
Shop the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. Save over $11,000 on select 24 Silverado or lease a 25 Trax for $169 a month. Shop Bergstrom, Madison, or Middleton locations today.
Habitat homes are not given, they're earned. Home buyers take on 30-year mortgages, collectively contribute over $925,000 in property taxes, and spend 40 hours on homeowner education. Help more families invest in their futures. Donate today.
This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky.
I've been a motorcyclist for a little over 20 years now. I always wanted to have a motorcycle my whole life, and dashing helps me support that hobby. I love the flexibility of dashing. I love the connections I make. Dashing lets me do what I want, when I want. I'm my own boss now. If dashers can maintain their freedom, flexibility, and independence, and have access to benefits, that would really be the best of both worlds. Portable benefits would help me cover medical costs, dental, vision. That would be fantastic.
COVID-19. I'm not waiting. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Paxlovid is an oral treatment for adults with mild to moderate COVID-19 and a high risk factor for it becoming severe. It does not prevent COVID-19.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not risking it. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Paxlovid must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms and help stop the virus from multiplying in your body.
Taking Paxlovid with certain medicines can lead to serious or life-threatening side effects or affect how it or other medicines work, including hormonal birth control. It's critical to tell your doctor about all the medicines you take because certain tests or changes in their dosage may be needed. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems, HIV-1, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeed. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to nirmatrelvir, ritonavir, or any of its ingredients. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions, some severe, like anaphylaxis, and liver problems. These are not all the possible side effects, so talk to your doctor.
If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Ask your doctor today.
Keep your car running this winter with help from Menards. Splash Ultimate Windshield Wash Fluid is effective down to negative 35 degrees. It clears ice and salt for a clean, streak-free shine. Pick up a gallon for only $2.39. Get maximum protection with Menards Extended Life Antifreeze and Coolant. It guards against rust and corrosion and features extended life coolant technology for use in all automobiles, light-duty trucks, and motorcycles. Get a gallon for only $5.99 after rebate.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
And we welcome you back to our continuing coverage of the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School today.
Armand Rahman has been speaking with experts today about what families and the community can do going forward. Armand.
Brady, Eric, I just spoke to a gun violence psychology expert with the UW-Madison, and she tells me it's important to talk with your kids about what happened. It can be worse for their mental health to try to avoid it, and also they should go back into routine and get them back into school. Now, when they are in school going forward, she says it is imperative that kids alert adults if they notice any of their peers going through any type of mental health issues.
If you see something, say something. That is, if you know that one of your classmates is in trouble, speak with a teacher or the principal or somebody so that they can get the help they need.
Again, that was Janet Hyde, a gun violence psychology expert with UW-Madison, and she urges Wisconsin to adopt red flag laws and what's called a Child Access Protection or CAP law, which requires anyone with children in their vicinity to store their guns securely. She says most school shootings involve a child or teen who acquired a firearm from home.
What I want to focus on is we're doing too much hand-wringing after the fact. What we need to do is prevent school shootings, and we know how to do that. We have scientific evidence on which gun regulations are effective, so that would be a much better approach.
Hyde encourages teenagers who may have witnessed this or any type of gun violence to speak out and encourages their parents to also do the same. And coming up later on in the show, I'll have more from a National Association of School Resource Officers about what they think they should be done, school resource officers should be doing in school going forward.
Armand, thank you very much for that report. Now we do have breaking news, what we know at this hour about the identity of the shooter. According to the Associated Press reporting, the shooter was a 17-year-old female student. That student is dead. Police have not released any information about that individual just yet.
Well, here's some of that video of the shooting scene that we got from a viewer. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes spoke at a news conference earlier today about how first responders from Madison were training for this exact type situation when they got the call to respond.
This is something that we all prepare for, but we hope we never have to do. Again, we're still going through collecting evidence, collecting information, making sure that our community is safe from what is a sad day for our community and for our country.
That was Police Chief Sean Barnes during the first news conference we had earlier today.
Well, now we want to go to our Merrill Hubbard, who is live at that Family Reunification Center at the SSM Health Clinic at Stoughton Road at Buckeye. And Merrill, what are you hearing at this hour?
Yeah, Eric, I actually did just see a couple kids of their parents right over here. They had their backpacks on. They were holding their parents' hand, and it looks like they've been reunited. We're not sure exactly the status of how many kids have been reunited back with their families, but I have seen a couple now. Now, we're over on this side right by the Quick Trip, and we're here because we want to pay respect to the families, make sure that we're not in their space. Not in their space and everything, and just making sure that we respect them. But it is neat to see these kids finally back with their parents, and a moment that's really, really long and awaited for all of them today. And so we're going to keep you updated and try to see if any parents will talk to us. But of course, we want to be respectful of their time and their time with their kids and everything like that. But it does look like some kids are finally being reunited with their parents. This is, hours after the shooting this morning. So for now, reporting live on Madison's East Side, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
All right, Merrill, thank you. Now, earlier today, Merrill heard from a neighbor who lives nearby the school about his initial reaction to the shooting.
There's like 20 cop cars that were going at a high rate of speed. I knew it wasn't just a regular incident. It was something else.
And we will continue to talk with people in the area as they are ready to tell us what happened to give you a better idea. But we do have more team coverage. Our Will Keneally is at SSM St. Mary's Hospital where patients are being treated right now. Will, what can you tell us at this hour?
Hey Brady, yeah, we've actually been bouncing back and forth between St. Mary's and where we are right now, which is outside of the UW Hospital emergency room. Now this is the level 1 trauma center in the region, so this will be the place where if you have very serious injuries like gunshot wounds, for example, people will likely get treated here. This is where MedFlight operates out of, for example. Also here is a pediatric intensive care unit as well. So again, any victims from this morning's shooting will be well treated here as well. Earlier today, we've been here essentially all day. Earlier, we'd seen right in front of the ER here a line of cars, including both police and civilian cars, so to speak. We've seen that largely clear out as the day has progressed and as this news has unfolded. We do have a statement from UW Health saying that they have confirmed that they are receiving patients from today's shooting, and they are providing areas for patients' families as well. Now, throughout this, we've also been tracking different statements from local elected leaders. We do know from the press conference earlier today with Sean Barnes and some other local leaders that the White House has been in communication with local leaders. We have, in the last couple of minutes, received a statement from President Joe Biden saying that he is grieving the loss of those killed and wounded at Abundant Life Christian School. Jill and I are praying for the victims today, including a teacher and teenage student who were killed and those who were injured. We're grateful for the first responders who arrived quickly on the scene, and the FBI is supporting local law enforcement efforts. So again, we'll continue to keep track of both some of that reaction as well as what we're hearing from these local hospitals as they continue to treat these victims and survivors. But for now, reporting from the UW Health Hospital, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, Will, thank you. Now, we want to transition because it is a busy travel week ahead. The weather, of course, top of mind for many folks on this week or 10 days or so before the holiday. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington now with your latest forecast.
Eric, tracking 2 snow chances as part of the 3 things you need to get out of our forecast. Snow chance number 1 is about 24 hours from now, and then we're keeping an eye later Thursday for a Clipper-like weather system that could bring some accumulating snow to the upper Midwest. Cold by the upcoming weekend. We'll talk about the chances of a white Christmas here, too, momentarily. But let's just get right to tonight's forecast. Low temperatures tonight, not as mild as what we saw last night. The fog potential very low tonight because we'll have breezy conditions, temperatures in the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. We'll keep the clouds around, though, and we'll keep the clouds going here as we go into Tuesday as well. Highs in the mid, maybe sneaking into the upper 30s if you're lucky. Then we track that weather system number 1 here. A few snow showers out towards the Dells, Richland Center, Viroqua by 6, 7 o'clock Tuesday evening, becoming more widespread across southern Wisconsin as we head towards 10, 11, 12 o'clock, and then that scoots off towards the south and towards the east. Overall amounts, light. Dusting, half-inch. Maybe we could sneak an inch in isolated areas in southern Wisconsin, and that'd be just enough on that Wednesday morning commute that you're going to want to be on the lookout for a couple of slick spots. Then that second weather potential here for snow is Thursday going into Thursday night, and this is that Clipper-like system that the first warm weather team will be keeping an eye on. Its track is always very critical to who sees the accumulating snow, and here's why. This weather system forms over portions of Alberta, Canada, quickly sweeps off towards the east. Lots of changes sometimes with Clipper-like systems in their track. If it tracks as it moves to the south and east, just south of Madison, meaning the low tracks over Iowa into Illinois, that brings that potential for maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow in southern Wisconsin. But some of our other weather models are having that track a little bit further to the north, keeping the accumulating snow over portions of central and southern Wisconsin. This is how that could pan out. This is one of the weather models that is a bit more aggressive, bringing us the snow as we go into Thursday. If this were to verify, widespread snow shower activity, breezy conditions on Thursday, if this verifies, and we could be looking at perhaps 1 to 3 inches of snow on Thursday if that track does pan out. Going into the weekend, we cool on down. Temperatures are cold, not polar plunge cold, so to speak, as we go into the upcoming weekend, but feeling more like January. But heads up, in terms of a white Christmas, we will start to turn mild as we head towards Christmas, highs up near 40 degrees. So if we don't get that snow on Thursday in southern Wisconsin, the chances of a white Christmas are very, very low, especially as we start to warm up around Christmas. That would start to melt any snow that we would have outside.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Gruber Law Offices has been winning for people injured in truck accidents for more than 35 years. One call, that's all.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
It's a great time to have RG Heating and Air Conditioning check your home's furnace system for safety and efficiency. RG services all brands and installs quality Trane equipment to keep your home running smooth year-round. Call RG Heating and AC today.
Don't let an appliance breakdown break you down. Count on Brothers Maine to rise to the occasion with support baked into every deal. Whether replacing or remodeling, we'll make sure your experience is a piece of cake. Brothers Maine, feel like family.
When it comes to winning internet, TDS is in a league of our own. Just like the Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin born and bred, we live, work, play, hire, and get involved in the communities we serve. Like delivering the green and gold standard of internet. 100% fiber internet that's as fast, powerful, and reliable as your other hometown favorite, the Packers. TDS, internet that's built Wisconsin strong.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad. Feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went a different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
It feels good to feel good and look good. The mommy belly is gone.
Schedule your free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-557-5298 or go to sonobello.com.
Maddie has heart failure, and it can't be cured. Our neighbor is using a Grace, so I asked Maddie's doctor about them. Turns out they can help us. They're already managing Maddie's breathing trouble better. A Grace, authentic care and connection. Visit agrace.org to learn more.
We've successfully represented people injured in truck accidents for more than 35 years. We know what it takes to get the results you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Continuing coverage of what happened today at Abundant Life Christian School on Madison's east side. Our crews are continuing to gather information. In the meantime, we're turning to some experts in Wisconsin fighting gun violence.
Wisconsin anti-violence effort is focused on gun violence prevention, education, and awareness, community engagement, and policy. Joining us to talk about the state of gun violence in Wisconsin and what they're doing to prevent incidents like this one, Tyler Kelly, a policy and engagement association with the Wave Educational Fund. Hey, Tyler, thanks for being on with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, can you tell us about your initial reaction to this horrible news today?
Yeah, of course, like everyone else, we were just appalled to hear something this terrible could happen here in Wisconsin, so close to home. However, the one thing that was clear is that nobody was surprised. And what we don't want to have happen is to allow these school shootings to become normal. So at Wave, we're today really thinking a lot about the victims and their families and making sure that, you know, as many people as possible can have great holidays, but we don't want this to become a normal thing, kids at school being killed.
What kind of resources does WAVE offer? You know, schools, communities, law enforcement, they're always training for these situations. How are you guys helping out in you know, trying to make our schools safer places?
Yeah, certainly. We have made partnerships with the Wisconsin Office of School Safety, making sure that schools have the best practices in terms of reporting, so students can report if they see something, they should say something. And these are resources that are being provided by the state, that are being provided by advocacy organizations in the gun violence prevention movement, making sure that schools have handouts so that parents can learn about how to safely store firearms at home. All of these things come together to make our schools safer, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, and do you have any advice for families that are trying to move through this right now in the days to come. Do you have any insight as to how they can handle this with their kids?
For sure. These are really hard conversations. You know, I was in 5th grade when the Sandy Hook shooting happened. Now doing this work, you know, double my life later, I think that parents should be honest with their kids, right? We all have all of this access to information with technology and everything. So be sure to, you know, look online. I know the state has been putting out resources throughout the day today. Look at those. Also, partners in the gun violence prevention movement, Everytown for Gun Safety, Brady United Prevents Gun Violence, all of these different organizations have put out great resources. So be sure to share those with your kids.
How is it, you know, this is such a difficult thing, Tyler, because, you know, people say, oh, don't politicize it right now. And then people often will say, if we didn't do anything as a society after Sandy Hook, we're not ever going to do anything. How do you continue to fight the good fight with those political headwinds? That's difficult.
Yeah, WAVE is a nonpartisan organization, and frankly, gun violence prevention isn't a partisan issue among the public. We know common sense gun violence prevention solutions like extreme risk protection orders, like universal background checks, have above 80% support throughout the state. And the only people that don't support it are some legislators. So we're reaching out to those legislators and reminding them that their kids will be safer in school with common sense gun violence prevention legislation, and their constituents want them, regardless of if they're Democrats, they're Republicans. You know, nobody wants kids dying in the classroom.
Tyler Kelly with WAVE. We really appreciate your time today, Tyler. Thank you for offering your expertise on this subject. A very difficult time here in Madison. We thank you. And we also want to mention that many of our locally elected officials have been chiming in with their thoughts on what has happened today. Governor Evers also commenting on the shooting today, saying in part, quote, "We are praying for the kids, educators, and the entire Abundant Life school community as we await more information and are grateful for the first responders who are working quickly to respond."
And we also have statements from both of Wisconsin's U.S. senators, Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin saying she's ready to assist law enforcement and anyone affected. Republican Senator Ron Johnson, extending his condolences. Both said they are monitoring this situation.
And we'll be right back with more.
Dane County Humane Society is your local nonprofit animal shelter. Your donation supports the care and comfort of thousands of companion animals, farm animals, and wildlife in need every year. Go to giveshelter.org to donate today.
The excellence of driving a Buick is matched by the excellence of the dealership experience when you own a Buick. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get $3,000 purchase allowance on Encore GX models. For attractive offers, visit these Buick dealers today.
Take an EKG from anywhere, but with 6 times the data. Can your smartwatch do that? Introducing Cardia Mobile 6L, the FDA-cleared EKG that provides 6 times more heart data than any smartwatch. And it detects 3 of the most common arrhythmias in just 30 seconds, including atrial fibrillation, bradycardia, and tachycardia. Get Cardia Mobile 6L for just $99 this holiday season at cardia.com or Amazon.
Big trucks can be intimidating, and so can their insurance companies. After a serious truck crash, you need a team on your side who knows how to handle trucking cases and who gets results. You need Gruber Law Offices. We know truck law, we know the rules and regulations, and we'll hold the insurance companies accountable. And there's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Dane County Humane Society is your local nonprofit animal shelter. Your donation supports the care and comfort of thousands of companion animals, farm animals, and wildlife in need every year. Go to giveshelter.org to donate today.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And our crews have been out there working, gathering information as they can throughout the day today. And we're expecting another press conference in about 1 hour at about 5:30. And we just saw one at 2:30 at the Madison Fire Station 14.
Yeah, we are awaiting more details, but in the meantime, let's go out to our Maddie Heimsch, who was there for that news conference at 2:30, and she joins us from Fire Station 14. Maddie, what can you tell us?
Eric and Brady, like you just mentioned, that next press conference coming in just about an hour at 5:30, where we'll hopefully learn more information. But I'm here at the firehouse where they held the most recent one. That was at 2:30. We heard Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes say that they were not going to give out more identifying information about the suspect, the suspected shooter. We know that it was a student at the school, but Barnes saying we're not going to give out gender, age, any more of that identifying information. So I'm just going to break down what we know so far as we wait for this next press conference. Again, the big update he gave was that 3 people were officially dead. One of them, the suspected shooter, another a teacher at the school, and another a different teenage student. We also had 4 people transported from the school with non-life-threatening injuries and 2 with life-threatening injuries in critical condition. So again, we're going to wait for that next press conference, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys.
Maddie, thank you very much. Well, let's take a break from this coverage and get a check of our weather. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us with a look at what we can expect. Alex?
Brady, pretty comfortable actually out here on the patio. A little bit of a breeze. We've had those mild conditions after the icy weather that we experienced this weekend, and it will stay mild here for the next 24 hours. Let's take a look at that temperature. 39 right now with our Upland Hill sponsored Skycam looking east right now at the Capitol. Notice a few breaks in the skies. We have had a cold front that has just moved through southern Wisconsin. It'll usher in slightly cooler temperatures tonight out there, and those showers that we briefly saw with that front nowhere to be seen now on radar 3000 across southern Wisconsin. It will stay dry for the rest of the night. We have 39 in Madison, got out to 44 though out to the west in Bosqueville. They had a little bit of sunshine behind that front. 37 in Janesville and 36 to the north in Marquette and Green Lake counties, where we've held on to the cloud activity and those few showers. 39 is very popular across Dane County as we speak right now, and overnight temperatures tonight will stay in the mid to upper 30s as we plan your evening. Periods of clouds, a few breaks like we're seeing on and off, certainly not out of the question. But we are going to transition to more of a winter-like weather pattern. We have snow chances we're tracking for Tuesday night and a clipper-like system on Thursday. Cold by the weekend. What could we be looking at for accumulations out of these weather systems? I'll let you know in a few minutes.
All right, Alex, thank you. We want to recap everything that has happened up to this point as far as what happened today, this morning at Madison Abundant Life Christian School. Police responded to a shooting just before 11 in the morning at Abundant Life. That's on East Buckeye Road, and we learned multiple people were killed and injured. Among the dead, the shooter, who was a student, and parents have since been meeting at a reunification center at the Dean East Clinic, the SSM Health East Clinic, while patients were transported to nearby hospitals with injuries. Madison PD said those injuries range from minor to life-threatening. It was briefly mistakenly shared that 5 people had died, but the Madison Police Department quickly corrected that.
And we do have a statement from Madison School Superintendent. Multiple MMSD schools were on hold while police responded to Abundant Life. This unimaginable tragedy impacts not just one school, but all of us in the greater Madison community. No one should face these complex emotions in isolation. As a community bound by mutual respect and compassion, we urge everyone to continue looking out for one another, to offer kindness, and to keep the Abundant Life Christian School community in your thoughts. We'll be right back.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like hazy or blurred vision, so it's hard to see fine details. Colors that appear dull or washed out. Or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to gawon'twait.com.
Figured you want your usual.
Thank you. You know me too well.
Enjoy your pie.
For last-minute gifts, the people you hold dear, and everyone on your list. Holiday scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery are here, with prices ranging from $1 to $20 and top prizes up to $100,000.
Great minds.
With so many games to choose from, it's easy to find gifts for everyone at your local Wisconsin Lottery retailer.
Shop the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. Save over $11,000 on select 24 Silverado or lease a 25 Trax for $169 a month. Shop Bergstrom, Madison, or Middleton locations today.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Wake up every morning with Savannah Brito and her Plan Your Day forecast, designed to help you plan your day before you walk out the door. Plan your day with Savannah. Weekday mornings starting at 4:30, only on News 3 Now This Morning. Start your new day with the News 3 Now This Morning team, bringing you local breaking news, exploring all that makes our area special, and letting you know what to expect when you head out the door. The Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now This Morning, weekdays. It's 6 p.m. in Wisconsin, and you want to know what happened throughout the day. That's where News 3 Now at 6 comes in. Moving forward. While you're navigating your day, we're out in the community, uncovering the stories and finding the answers you're looking for. Local breaking news, in-depth reports, getting to the heart of events and issues that matter here. And when bad weather is on the way, we warn you first. Start your evening with News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward. Weeknights.
Well, welcome back. It looks like we have a statement from Speaker Robin Vos right now. In his statement, he says, "Today's tragedy is shocking, senseless, and heartbreaking. My thoughts and prayers are with the students, parents, and faculty who will have to live with the trauma and grief of this day for the rest of their lives. There are no words to adequately express condolences to those who have lost loved ones or to express gratitude for the first responders who were on scene for this violence." That's Representative Robin Vos, Assembly Speaker here.
And the city of Madison also confirming an active shooter incident at Abundant Life Christian this morning, of course, just before 11 o'clock. No longer is there a danger to the community, and they are in the process of doing everything they can to support the victims and families. We have constantly said throughout the day that the families of those who are at the school should go to the Reunification Center at the SSM Health Clinic, which is at 1821 South Stoughton Road. Again, members of the general public are asked to stay away from that area. We know as we approach the evening rush, that is a very busy area, Stoughton Road at Buckeye. A lot of folks going home or heading to the airport along that route. Find an alternate route if you can. There will be an additional briefing at 5:30, also taking place at Fire Station 14, where we heard that update from law enforcement a little bit ago. Medical staff and other emergency personnel responding quickly to that event today. Many of them were on hand at the press conference we saw a little while ago.
Yeah, and let's check in with some of our live crews out there with where the parents and patients are this afternoon. Here's a map of where the school and Reunification Center are. Again, this is Abundant Life Christian School on Buckeye Road, and the Reunification Center is at Dean Center at Buckeye and Stoughton Roads. And we will be checking in with our reporters throughout this show, too.
Yeah, I think we have Merrill Hubbard standing by at the Reunification Center. Again, there have been times throughout the day at the SSM East Clinic where parents have been kind of filing into that area. Buses have been leaving Abundant Life where Braden Ross was, and Merrill was seeing some of those buses show up at the East Clinic. And Merrill, what are you seeing right now? Are there continuing to be parents showing up there at the clinic?
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of families across the street unifying together, but then here at the Quick Trip, we actually saw another parent and her 3 boys come up, and they've finally been unified after hours of being apart and after hearing about the shooting. Now, the parent I talked to was just like any other parent. She was really emotional and just really happy to be with her kids, but also so sad that they have had to experience this today. She tells me that, they're going to have a lot of conversations about this and everything, but right now they're just really happy to be together. And so we're definitely going to show you some of the video from that here in a little bit. But, one of the questions I asked her was, what was the first thing your boys said to you when they saw you? And she said, that they were like, Mom, it's okay. We're okay. And that's what is most important to them right now. Of course, there are people out there who have lost family members from today's incident, and there are people that do not feel okay right now either. So, like I said, tonight we're going to hear some more from this family and just kind of learn more of their story. But for now, reporting on Madison's East Side, Meryl Hubbard, News for Now.
Yeah, those are some of the emotional moments, Meryl, thank you, that you saw in Mount Horeb just 7 months ago.
Yeah, and oftentimes, as we've been discussing earlier in our live report, that unfortunately, these shootings are so commonplace for students. It does tend to happen where they are the ones comforting their parents at first, and of course that will continue to go as many tough conversations will happen in the days to come between parents and their loved ones. Yeah, it's really, really unimaginable and sad.
Yeah, and we'll see the impact of it, and we'll cover that as it continues, and we get some answers as to what happened from law enforcement. But as a community, we continue to reach out to all these families, offering whatever support we can. And our live continuing coverage of today's events continues after a short break.
Bigger isn't always better. Stoughton Health offers in-house MRI in a safe, inviting environment with convenient scheduling, friendly staff, and easy parking. Experience why patients are proud to say, "This is my hospital."
Welcome into Buzzed In Madison. We are here with Courtney and Clam at AARP Wisconsin, talking holiday scams, holiday fraud. We're going to get right to it with package delivery scams. Everyone's having packages delivered, so you are at risk for this one.
Yeah, so this scam usually starts where you get a text message. They might say they're from the United States Postal Service or UPS, and there's a problem with your delivery. So they'll ask you to go to a website, enter personal information or payment information for what they call a redelivery fee. Unfortunately, it's a scam, so if you get any of these text messages, don't click the links, don't enter information, and if you're concerned about your package, go directly to the retailer to check for tracking and updates.
Okay, great tips there. Let's talk about charities and charities that might not be charities.
Yeah, so it's the giving season around the holidays. People want to give back, and criminals take advantage of that by creating fake charities. They might sound like real charities we're familiar with. So they're doing all of this to steal your money. So before you give money to anyone, you're going to want to double check on a website like give.org or charitynavigator.org, and you can confirm that the charity is legitimate and see how much of your donation goes to their social mission.
That's interesting, how much of it actually goes to the mission. I like that. Gift cards. I was really surprised by this, but this is something you really need to think about.
Yeah, so if you're buying gift cards this season or anytime, definitely try to buy it directly from a cashier behind a counter instead of off the rack, because criminals can take the information from those gift cards off the rack, put it in a program, and drain it before you get to use it. So buy directly from the cashier. Otherwise, check for signs of tampering and just be sure that you use it sooner than later.
Wonderful tips. Stay safe this holiday season. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're Buzzed Into Madison.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
When you or a loved one are faced with an unexpected injury or illness, Stoughton Health's urgent care is there for you. We have clinics in Oregon, Stoughton, McFarland, and Cottage Grove.
And we welcome you back to our continuing coverage of today's events at Abundant Life Christian School, which is a private school, and as Armand Rahman found, has different access to safety resources than our public schools. Armand, what have you learned?
Eric and Brady, Police Chief Sean Barnes indicated that ALCS likely did not have a school resource officer. I sat down with the executive director of the National Association of School Resource Officers, Mo Kennedy. He says ALCS was not in their database as having an SRO. In Madison, school resource officers were removed from schools recently, and Kennedy says even if they were placed back in, the current system doesn't allow local governments to place them into private schools as well.
I don't think it's just our database that we're able to glean that from. I think it's pretty standard that you don't see that in a private school. For right now, for private schools, if they want to have a law enforcement presence, they're going to have to privately hire an off-duty law enforcement officer to work in that environment. And so, again, so you're talking about them having to self-fund that situation.
Kennedy says there are also limited school safety and SRO grants from the Department of Justice, but more can be done there, he says, as well. And we'll have more on this from different local experts about how the community can move forward as we continue this developing coverage.
All right, Armand, thank you so much. Now, the anxiety and fear for parents watching this from home is how to talk to your kids about all this.
We're bringing in Professor Emeritus of Human Development and Family Studies at UW-Madison, Dave Riley. Dave, thank you for being on with us.
You bet.
This is a tough topic. How do you sit down and talk to your kids about this? What does your research show about this kind of topic?
Well, it's different if you have children in that school, of course, than if they're not in the school. But even children around town are going to be affected by this potentially. After Hurricanes Katrina and so forth, after the attacks on the World Trade Tower, a lot of children who weren't even in the area had strong emotional reactions. And mostly it was because their parents were glued to the TV reports and showing emotional reactions themselves. And so I would say to parents all over town, you need to model calmness and model bravery in the face of difficult times for your children. Talk with them about it. But make sure that you're not modeling terror yourself, or your children are going to learn that reaction. Children look to us to know how to react to things.
Yeah, and it's tough because, kids see this without parents turning on the TV too. It's got to be really different now than it was, when we were kids. You didn't have phones in your hands with all this happening right in front of your faces.
Yeah, it's pervasive, and if you could take the phone away from the child, that would help a lot, certainly. The other thing parents can do, I guess I want to speak directly to the parents who are part of that community for a moment, and that is your child's going to go back to school there at some point. It'd be smart to go by the school with them at some point. Find an excuse, tell them you've always wanted to see the playground out back. Have them walk you around and show it to you. And in this way, it's called systematic desensitization. You desensitize them from the fear response to that place. And so find a way to do it in small steps if you can.
Yeah. Students that we've talked to over the years, they've mentioned that this is the norm, school shootings. They've grown up in this time. How do they react when something like this does hit close to home? Or is the reaction, can it be delayed? Maybe they won't want to talk about it until weeks, months later. Do you ever find that to be true?
There's a lot of individual variability, but every parent needs to create the opportunity for children to talk. You certainly can't force them to. And to talk about it yourself, to talk about how you're thinking about it. Being honest is always a good idea. But also, like I said, to model that emotional courage, that to be honest about this being a tough time, but we can talk about it, and we can do things to move out into the world.
We've talked a lot today about the ages and how to talk to certain age groups. And this is a unique school in that it's a K through 12. So you have the older kids that are exposed maybe to more, and then you have these little kids. There's kindergartners in this building today as well. I suppose you have to be cognizant of the age differences when you're talking to kids too, right?
Yeah, to some extent. Oddly enough, my advice to take your child back to the school so you can be there with them
One thing that I always think about, parents sometimes don't have all the answers. Is that okay too, to have that discussion openly with their kids?
Yeah, absolutely. But I just caution: don't say I don't have any answers. Therefore, I'm going to give up on everything. It's okay to say I'm not sure about that. But we're going to find out. We're going to stick together. I think you want to admit honestly what you do and don't know, but you also want to model that courage moving forward as best you can.
Finally, Dave, I just want to ask, if you're a community member and maybe you know some family at Abundant Life, how should they reach out to be that for, we all want to reach out. It's such a special time of the year too. The holidays, 10 days off, 9 days off. How does a community, what's the best way to reach out to people that are impacted directly and not be too invasive?
Well, I'll give you the advice of my wife, and that is don't call them and ask them if you can bring a casserole by. Just take the casserole to them. If you ask them what you can do, they're going to say, oh, nothing, we're okay. And so just do things. And certainly telling them that you care about them is important, but your actions are what really speak volumes. And so let people know through your actions that you are part of the community that supports them.
Yeah, no doubt a lot of people will want to help these folks. Dave, thank you so much. We really appreciate your thoughts and your advice at this time that's so difficult in our community. We appreciate it. Let's go back out now live to Will Keneally. He is in front of American Family Children's Hospital, the UW Health Hospital campus there to let us know what he has been seeing and hearing at this time. Will?
Well, Eric, it's been relatively quiet. We are in front of the ER here. Earlier today, there's a huge line of cars, both police and civilian cars, parked on the sidewalk right in front of the ER here. That is mostly cleared out for the most part. But as we were saying, so this is one of two ERs that we know have been treating victims from this morning's shooting. The ER here at UW Hospital, and then as well as St. Mary's. This is the Trauma 1 Center, so think the highest level of trauma care that you could receive. Specifically dealing with things like gunshots, for example. This would be the kind of trauma care that you might expect to see in a large city like Milwaukee or the Twin Cities, for example. We have that right here in Wisconsin. Also tied to this hospital, though, is the American Family Children's Hospital. And between the two, they have a pediatric intensive care unit. Again, kind of speaking to the level of care that some of the victims can receive here. As well. So we'll continue to keep you updated from what we're hearing on the ground here by way of how these hospitals are treating those people injured in this morning's shootings. But for now, reporting from the UW Hospital, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Will. Let's take a short break. Our team coverage will continue after this.
Follow the beat of Butch Vig with Madison Magazine. How a kid with a drum kit became a visionary DIY producer, musician, and Grammy winner. The local legend tells all in a home studio sit-down. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now. And the winner is Madison Magazine. Proud to earn 11 Milwaukee Press Club Awards for excellence in Wisconsin journalism. And the top prize for civic journalism in this year's National City and Regional Magazine Awards.
Hurry into Menards and save big money. Dress up your home with new selectable white light bulbs from Sylvania. Now with adjustable color temperatures. Simply adjust the switch on the bulb to change the shade of light. Right now, just $8.99. Bring charm and warmth to your home with this Hensley electric fireplace. Easily adjust the flame's brightness and temperature with the included remote control. Plus, storage for your home entertainment. Get it now for $419.99.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards. Bad odors, ghastly noises, and clogs at the worst possible time. These are just a few of the holiday horrors lurking within your garbage disposal. But you don't have to let an old system squash your holiday spirit. Give yourself the gift of the grind and save $50 when you upgrade with Cardinal. Put your old appliance on a permanent naughty list and get a highly efficient, ultra-quiet garbage disposal that can clean up even the most chaotic of holiday dinners. Don't let a clogged sink spoil your holiday spirit. Book online at cardinalservice.com.
I have no idea what I'm doing. My dad has Parkinson's and we need more support. That's why I connected with a Grace. Now I have a partner to help me understand what to expect. Choose more support and less stress with a Grace. Authentic care and connection.
Tonight at 6, the digital world is evolving and our kids are all in. So parents, we need to stay on our toes.
There are some risks with predators. We have had some people we thought, you shouldn't be friendly this person.
In my Time for Kids report, I'm giving your family the tools to navigate today's technology, including our SSM health experts' top tips for getting your kids on board with a safety plan.
Video games, social media, you name it, it's not going anywhere. So we need to shift our mindset.
Catch our digital playbook tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
All right, folks, here, let's plan our evening. Cloudy skies, temperatures staying in the 30s, a bit of a breeze, but relatively mild speaking, with the continuation of our mild weather sticking around for a little bit longer before colder weather is on the way. And also 2 snow chances, one Tuesday night, 24 hours from now, and another one Thursday during the day going into Thursday night. Let's break down the first one here. A few snow showers by 8 o'clock Tuesday, becoming more widespread as we head towards midnight. It's a brief blip of snow across the area, and that could still cause a couple of travel concerns as we go into Wednesday morning with a ½ to maybe an inch of snow across southern Wisconsin. So be prepared for a couple of slick spots on Wednesday morning's commute. That's at 1 inch or less Tuesday night. That Clipper Lake system on Thursday, the track is going to be very key to whether or not southern Wisconsin gets 1 to 3 inches of snow. Right now, our weather models are showing a variety of different solutions, meaning that best chance for that snow right now is likely going to be just north of Madison, but that could shift to the south very, very quickly. So keep tabs on our forecast, channel3000.com, our First One weather app, and of course, our live broadcast. Following that weather system on Thursday, if we don't get any snow, the chances for a white Christmas, unfortunately, are very low, especially considering we'll start to warm up as we head towards Christmas. We'll continue our live coverage in just a few moments.